Welcome to Talking Crue, an unofficial Motley Crue podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things in the world of Motley Crue. This is episode 5 this week, Shout at the Devil album review. This week in Motley news, not a whole lot of it. The band ended the co-headlining U.S. Stadium tour, although it was a short run with Def Leppard and Alice Cooper, this past Friday in El Paso, Texas. Also, John Corabi ended his solo tour as the opening act for Tom Kiefer's Live and Loud tour in Nashville at it's called the Ryman Auditorium, but it was also known as the Grand Ole Opry. And that's it in Motley news this week. This is episode 5, Shout at the Devil album review. There it is. Also got the shirt, rocking the shirt. So let's go right into it. On this week's episode, we continue on with the timeline as we talk about the second album, Shout at the Devil, which is actually a breakthrough album for the band. So let's pick it up and go. When Too Fast for Love album came out or was re-released by Elektra Records, which I talk about in episode 3, in case you missed that one. Episode 3 is the Too Fast for Love album. The band went out on tour to support it in 1982. The band also fired manager Alan Kaufman around this time. They drew attention from two different managers, both who actually ended up going to the same show. Doug Thaler, who got a tip from his friend, the late great Ronnie James Dio, and Doc McGee, who was the manager of the Pat Travers. They both went and saw this show at the same time. They actually talked for a little bit and decided to team up. And this is the New Year's Eve show, 1982, Santa Monica Civic Center. Motley Crue sold this thing out. And Doc and Doug Thaler was like, we can work with this. So they quickly signed the band right after the show. Because they had new management, Motley got to be the opening act on Kiss's Creatures of the Night tour, 1983. But they only played 5 shows. Gene Simmons of Kiss kicked them off the tour for bad behavior. Now, it's in the book, The Dirt. I'm wanting to say it's Nicky who writes it. He said that him and Tommy Lee were messing around with Kiss drummers Eric Carr, the late great Eric Carr's girlfriend at the time. So that might have kicked them off the tour. So the band went right into the studio. Nicky and his then girlfriend, Lita Ford, who was also in the band called the Runaways, and of course now she's has a huge successful solo career, was practicing black magic. Why, I don't know. Why would you want to fool around with that? But luckily it scared them to death and they stopped. But it got Nicky's thought process going. He actually wrote 2 songs around that time. I Will Survive and Run for Your Life. Plus he kind of came up with the Shout at the Devil thing to kind of provoke people, scare people, any way to get a reaction, and it worked. Also, during the recording process, Nicky got in a really bad car wreck where he injured his shoulder, but that didn't stop him from recording the album. He was actually doped up on oxycodone. Plus, the band took time out of the studio to do the US Festival 1983, which was last week's episode, episode 4, in case you missed that one. And that's where I'm going to end on the timeline. Now, some info and some facts on this album. They recorded the album at Cherokee Studios in Hollywood, California. They picked producer, who's a legend now, Tom Warman, who would go on to produce this album plus 2 more Motley albums. But before he joined up with Motley, he produced a couple of Molly Hatchet albums, Ted Nugent, and Cheap Trick. The album was released September 23rd, 1983. They released 2 singles, both of which got videos for. Looks to Kill and Too Young to Fall in Love. Was really played a lot on a new cable station that was playing nothing but music videos, MTV. The album has sold 4 million copies in the United States alone. Also, I want to read this part. It peaked at number 17 on the Billboard charts in 1983. That's pretty cool for a band that was basically a no-name at this point. So that's why I'm saying this is the breakthrough album. In the liner notes, this album was recorded on Foster's Lager, Budweiser, Bombay Gin, lots of Jack Daniels, brandy, Quaaludes, and Corel. Corel was their nickname for cocaine to kind of sneak around management, and Wild Women. So now I'm going to tell a little personal story real fast. Like I told you in episode 1, I became a Crue fan in mid to late 86. By 87, I bought, with my own money, the very first album I ever bought was Motley Crue's Girls, Girls, Girls. And then a few weeks later, I went back and got Theater of Pain. Now, I'm wanting to say it was on my dad's side at my aunt's house, and I'm wanting to say it was Thanksgiving. But we were over there, and me and my cousins and my brother were talking about the music we were listening to. And I said Motley Crue. Well, one of my cousins said, "Oh yeah, I got their album Shout at the Devil. And have you heard it?" I said, "Well, I only know 2 songs, and that's thanks to the VHS home video uncensored." So he was like, "Well, come on, let's go listen to it." So me, my brother, and all my cousins go into his bedroom. He puts the cassette in the tape recorder. He hits play. We're all, for some reason, sitting around in a circle. And he pushes play, and in the beginning starts to play. Scared the daylights out of me. And my aunt busted open the door. "You guys get in here." So we jumped up and ran back into the living room. So that's how I was kind of introduced to this album. It scared the daylights out of me. So if you have a similar story, write me a comment down below. I'd love to know. So let's go track by track on Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue's second album. So like I said, track number 1 is called the In the Beginning. Starts off with this kind of eerie horror movie kind of soundtrack thing. Nicky starts talking. They kind of do some work on his voice to kind of murder it and kind of make it seem dark and eerie. It's really cool. I really like it. At the end of him talking, it leads into song number 2. Now here's something else in the liner notes. If you've noticed it or not, it says it's not read by Nicky, it's read by the new Motley Crue mascot, who kind of comes in and out of Motley Crue, Alistair Friend. I'll show you a picture of Alistair if you join the Facebook page Talking Crue. I'll post a picture of Alistair. So, like I said, that leads right into song number 2, and that is the title track, Shout at the Devil. Starts with Tommy on a cymbal, Mick playing this awesome guitar riff, Nicky playing this slide bass on one note, just that boom thing. Then a chant starts with shout, shout, and it builds up, and Vince screams, "Shout at the devil," and then the song just blasts off. It's almost like a rocket ship. Great lyrics, catchy chorus. It's so good. I love this song. Song number 3, Looks to Kill. Just kicks right in. Great groove, excellent singing by Vince. Great chorus, great lyrics, catchy chorus. You hear a gong When the Clock Strikes Midnight, Gone by Tommy, which sounds perfect. Fantastic guitar solo by Mick. This song, again, it's so good. Song number 4 is Bastard. Tommy actually starts this one off on a drum field, then the band kicks in. It's just a straight ahead rock and roll song. Then it kind of slows down a little bit when Vince starts to sing, and then it picks up during the chorus. So it's kind of a little bit of a roller coaster. Fantastic, absolutely amazing guitar solo by Mick. It's so freaking good. I love this song as well. Song number 5 is God Bless the Children of the Beast. This one is an instrumental written by Mick Mars. It's really good. It's almost like a calming down kind of song, because you just got hit with 3 awesome songs, I mean, back to back. So this is kind of like the calming down part of the album. It's really well played. I love it. Then at the end of the song, you hear Nikki and Tommy sing the actual title of the song, God Bless the Children of the Beast. Then it just kind of fades out. Then we pick right back up with song number 6, and that is Helter Skelter, which is a Beatles song, but they Motley'd it up. Starts off with Mick playing that awesome guitar riff, Nikki pounding on a bass. Then Vince starts singing, and the song just kicks right in. Absolutely amazing. Fantastic guitar solo again by Mick. It's so good. I often wonder what Sir Paul McCartney, that's my Paul McCartney accent there, wonder what he thinks about this, because he's the one that wrote it. Song number 7, and that is Red Hot. Tommy and Nikki start this one with an awesome drum and bass groove. It's absolutely contagious. Then Mick comes in with some guitar riff. Vince then comes in and says 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the song just, again, kind of like Shout at the Devil song, just blast off. Fantastic lyrics, catchy chorus, absolutely fantastic. I love this song, especially live. It's so freaking good. Great guitar solo by Mick. Again, this song is awesome. I love it when they played it live on the Better Live Than Dead tour / Carnival Sins tour. It was absolutely a blast to hear. Song number 8 is Knock 'em Dead Kid, and this one's actually dedicated to somebody. It's dedicated to the Los Angeles Police Department. The story goes is Nikki and Lita and Tommy, his girlfriend at the time, were at a bar, and some people were messing around with them. Not really sure how it started, but that's kind of the gist of it. And Nikki ended up punching the dude, who found out his friend would pull out a gun and his badge, and Nikki punched out a cop, and of course Nikki went to jail. Don't try that at home, kids. But he wrote this song and dedicated it to the LAPD. Starts off with a great guitar riff by Mick, then the band joins in. Just another fantastic rock and roll song. Fantastic lyrics, catchy chorus, fantastic guitar solo by Mick. This song again, it's so good. Knock 'em Dead Kid. I love that song. Like I said in last week, kind of wish they'd bring this one back just for one show, just see how the crowd would react. Song number 9 is 10 Seconds to Love. This song just kicks right in. Great guitar groove by Mick. When Vince starts to sing, the music kind of slows down or lays back. Great groove, great lyrics, catchy chorus, great guitar solo by Mick. There's almost like this, I call it a pocket groove. I'm not really a musician, so I could be wrong, but to me it sounds like a pocket groove that Tommy and Nikki go into while Vince kind of finishes out the song. It's fantastic. I love this song again. 10 Seconds to Love. And then we get to song number 10, and this would be how the Elektra version would end. and that song is called Danger. Now, when I bought this album, I was late to the party on this album. I didn't buy this album until 1989 when Dr. Feelgood came out, and my Motley fandom just exploded. So I had to have everything Motley Crue. So I went back and got Too Fast and this one when I listened to it all the way through. So you got to remember, let's see, 13, 14, 15 years old. So when Danger came on, and I was loving it, it has this great groove all the way through it, and then you get to Danger and you're like, what is this? So I didn't really like it, but as I've gotten older and I've listened to this album more and more, the more I love this song. Actually, I really love it. Starts off with a great guitar playing by Mick. Vince starts to sing. Tommy does these like drum fills as the song builds up. It's almost a mid-tempo song, so it's not a straight-ahead rocker. It's not really a ballad either. It's just kind of in the middle. The lyrics are so awesome. I love it. Nicky did a great job writing this song. Great solo by Mick. Fantastic chorus. Absolutely fantastic song. I love it. The song is about what Nicky was seeing at this point, which was the streets of Los Angeles, and that's what he's saying. It's danger, but this is my town. It's Hollywood. So he was kind of letting everybody know, hey, it's dangerous out here. But yeah, so that's how the electro version ends. And like I did with the Too Fast for Love, I'm going Crucial Crew. Now, I meant to say this in episode 3, so I encourage any new Motley Crue fan to get the Crucial Crew versions. I've seen a lot on eBay. I didn't check Amazon, so you might want to check there as well, or used CD stores that sell CDs. You might want to check them out because they loaded them up with a ton of stuff on it, and this one's no different. I'm going to have to pull my glasses up because they wrote it in red and black, so it's kind of hard to see. So here's the extra tracks on the Crucial Crew version. Shout at the Devil, the demo version. Looks That Kill, the demo version. Harder Than Hell, a demo version. Now, Harder Than Hell would be later changed to Louder Than Hell, so it's actually kind of cool to hear it being called something else. They changed it, Nicky said, because Louder Than Hell sounded more fit for the band. Because, yeah, if you've ever seen Motley Crue live, they are absolutely loud. Unreleased track, I Will Survive, and I talked about this in the timeline, so I'll talk about that song here in just a second. And then the last song on the Crucial Crew version is Too Young to Fall in Love, the demo version. Like how I did that? Alright, so let's talk about I Will Survive. Starts off with a great guitar riff, and then the band starts to play. Vince sings really cool. It's almost he almost has this echo effect in it. Fantastic lyrics, great guitar solo by Mick. Another fantastic song. Catchy chorus. Then there's something going on towards the end of the song that's kind of murdery. Almost can't really make it out. It's kind of screaming and people talking, and then the band kind of comes in and just kind of lays low at the end of the song. It's actually really good. How it didn't make the album, I don't know. Now, I know all you diehard Crue fans like myself are thinking, where's Black Widow? I'm going to talk about Black Widow, which was a song that was supposed to be on this as well, on the Red, White Crue episode. So hang on to that. So that's the album. So let's rate it 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm giving it a 10. I think it still holds up 40 years later. Least favorite song or songs? None. There's nothing bad on this song or on this album. Favorite song or songs? All of them, including I Will Survive. So, homework this week. You rate the record. 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What's your favorite song or songs on this album? What's your least favorite song or songs on this album? And I got homework question number 4 for you. I mentioned it in Motley News a few weeks ago that they are putting out the 40th anniversary box set of this album, Shout at the Devil. I don't know. I'm kind of debating back and forth. I kind of want it, but then again, I kind of got the demos already, so I don't know. Maybe you can make up my mind. So that's question number 4. Have you pre-ordered the Shout at the Devil box set? Write me a comment down below. So that's your 4 questions. Let's see. Next week, I'm actually going to take next week off, next Friday, for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's my wedding anniversary. Me and my wife have been married for 3 years, and we're actually going out of town, so I won't even be home to record. Plus, it's Labor Day weekend, so when we do come back, I want to enjoy some time with her and my kids. So yeah, I'm going to take 2 weeks off, but I will be back September the 8th, to be exact. September the 8th with episode 6. And we're going to continue on with the timeline. And I'm going to talk about Motley Crue's 3rd album. This was the breakthrough. This is when they became stars. I'm talking about Theater of Pain. And that will be in 2 weeks, September the 8th. So that's it for this week's episode. If you know anybody that's a Motley Crue fan, likes to talk about Motley Crue, hear about Motley Crue, send them this way. Give them the link. Tell them to go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, Facebook, wherever else there is. Tell them to type in Talking Crue. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Join the Facebook page, Talking Crue, as well. Yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you know when episode 6 comes out. So that's it for this week. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, September the 8th. And you just took a ride on the wild side.